Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Today is a Texas open meeting of the Cushman Court of Hood County, Texas. Today is Tuesday, September the 9th, 2025. It's 9 a.m. and we're in the central jury room of the Ralph H. Walton Jr. Justice Center at 1200 West Pearl Street in Granbury, Texas. We're very pleased and honored today to have with us Father Stuart Smith of the Good Shepherd Anglican Church to give us the invocation this morning. Father Stuart.
In the 13th century, there's a man named Francis who became famous for decorating yards and gardens centuries later, but he actually was a deep and profound lover of God and of his son, Jesus Christ. So I couldn't think of a better prayer for this time than this. Let us pray. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there's hatred, let me sow love. Where there's injury, pardon. Where there's doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
I'd just like to make two little announcements today. First of all, Jack Wilson is joining us via Zoom conference. He's up in New Hampshire, but he's there. Jack, are you there?
I'm here. Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. So you don't have better weather up in New Hampshire than we do right here in Granbury, Texas this morning, that's for sure, but it's nice. So thank you for joining us. And the second thing is that there's two items on the miscellaneous business that I informed that are pulled, and that's item number 11 and item number 17 on the miscellaneous agenda. So if there's anybody here that was waiting to speak on those subjects, I'll just let you know right now before we get started on anything. Now we have some special presentations here. And the first one, I'm really proud to say this. This is a real good honor for a very hardworking Hood County employee. And that's to recognize Hood County Auditor's Office for receiving the Transparency Star Award Certificate for exemplary financial transparency efforts. And that's a mouthful there. But Stephanie Matlock has done that, and she's done a tremendous job. So we're going to give her a big hand and all of her office for doing that. So please join me in that. She does do work. She works with all of us very hard. Thanks, and with everybody in the county, she does really an exemplary job. I like that financial transparency. That's good for all of y'all up there, know where your tax dollars are going. So that's really a great deal. And then the second thing, and I'm really honored to do this, is to present a proclamation to recognize the American Revolution experience, September the 12th to the 14th of 2025. And we've got some very, very important people up here. So headed by my very best friend here that I was telling her daughter, I don't tell this lady what to do. She tells me what to do, okay? Amen. Margaret, you got your people coming up here? We're going to do that. Jack, you can't join us for this. That's the, that's exactly, yeah. Margaret, are you going to read this? Are you, hey, you got your glasses here?
Just in case.
Okay, don't let you. You will get next to you. Okay.
Whereas on July 4th, 2026, our nation will commemorate the semi-quincentennial anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And whereas the journey towards this historic milestone is an opportunity to reflect on our nation's past honor, the contribution of all Americans, and look ahead to the future generations who will carry forward the ideas of democracy and individual liberty that make the United States a unique nation in the world community. And whereas during the American Revolution, the great state-to-be of Texas, then part of Spanish territory, played a crucial, albeit indirect, role by supporting cattle to Spanish forces fighting the British, specifically Spanish General Bernardo de Galvez, leading a campaign against the British along the Gulf Coast and Mississippi River, relied on Texas cattle for subsistence. Between 1779 and 1782, approximately 10,000 herd of cattle were rounded up from ranches in Bear and La Bella, Goliad, and sent to Galvez forces. This contribution, along with financial support and public prayers for the American cause, highlights early Texas involvement in the larger revolutionary conflict, even though it was not directly involved in the fighting on the eastern seaboard. And whereas the National Society, Daughters of the American Revolution, DAR, is a non-political women's service organization established in 1890, whose members are literally descended from patriots of the American Revolution. And whereas through the President General's leadership, all daughters are spending the next year celebrating Stars and Stripes forever and rejoicing in our DAR ties of service and friendship by celebrating our nation's rich history and diversity, promoting belonging through membership and dedicated service to God, home, and country, and by completing projects in unique, local, and impactful ways. And whereas the Texas Daughters Elizabeth Crockett chapter are celebrating our nation's rich history and diversity of experience by honoring all men and women who achieved American independence. These patriots, believing in the noble cause of liberty, fought valiantly to establish a new nation. And whereas the Elizabeth Crockett chapter daughters will celebrate America 250, the American Revolution Experience, September 12th, 13th, and 14th, 2025, at the Gordon House at the Langdon Center, 308 Pearl Street, Granbury, Texas, Friday, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday, 10 to 6 p.m., Sunday, 1 to 5 p.m. Now, therefore, the Hood County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim September 12th to 14th, 2025 as a time to celebrate America 250, the American Revolution Experience, and encourage all citizens to join in the celebration at the Gordon House at the Langdon Center. Signed, Judge Ron Massengale and Commissioners Court.
That's yours to keep. Great job. Great job. All right. Okay. Thank you. You did a great job. You did a great. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. You did a great job. Thank you. Look at this lady. She got the Medal of Honor too. Thank you, Miss Sutton. Don't run off.
Thank
there.
you.
Thank you, Miss Sutton. Look at you, though. All right. The next is the next proclamation. This is to designate September the 11th, 2025 as Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance, Least We Forget. So this is Friends of Memorial. Oh my goodness, we got all the leaders right here. You got your glasses on?
Well, I do, but I still can't see it.
You can't
You gotta
see.
let Mike do it or let
Okay,
Faye do it.
All right, Mike.
He's
you get
good, Mike can do it.
Margaret read really good.
Sure. Come on, sir, get
I
in
know
the
the
center
press.
here. Like, come here, you know.
No, you're, don't,
Yeah. All right.
All right, the official proclamation to designate September 11th, 2025 as Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance, lest we forget. Whereas September 11th, 24 years ago, the United States of America endured one of the most unconscionable tragedies in our country's history when cowardly terrorists attacked the World Trade Center. The United States Pentagon United Flight 93, resulting in the loss of 2,996 innocent lives. Whereas these attacks tore a hole in the heart of our nation, and the pain of this tragedy still remains today, each year on this somber day, we remember the horror and bravery shown that day, just as we remember how we came together, united in grief and in purpose. And whereas Friends of Memorial Lane renew our solemn vow to never forget what happened on September 11th, 2001, or those who lost their lives as we honor the first responders, firefighters, law enforcement officers, emergency workers, healthcare providers, and service members who answered the call of duty, and the brave civilians who rushed into action to save the lives that day. Their heroism continues to inspire new generations of Americans, and whereas Friends of Memorial Lane encourage and invite all citizens of Hood County to take time this day to pray and remember. On September 11th, 2025, at 6:30 p.m. at the Jim Burks Firefighter Memorial Park, we will, by sight, sound, and participation, once again have a moving ceremony to remember, lest we forget. Let us once again unite in remembering. Now, therefore, the Hood County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim September 11th, 2025 as the Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance, and encourage all citizens of Hood County to stop and remember. And further, encourage all citizens to participate in the remembrance service at the Jim Burks Firefighter Memorial Park, signed this day, 9th day of September, 2025, by the judge and all the commissioners.
Good. Good job. Thank you. Very important day.
And you're going to not be there, but Nanette's going to be in your place to read our proclamation and present it, so.
Good, good. Right.
That's fine.
young and thin.
All right.
Thank you so much, Judge.
But I got a medical procedure in Dallas I have to go to, so I can't.
I will be praying.
Okay, good deal. Love you. Take care. Okay, there are no service awards, Ms. Wilburn, then, so the next is citizens' comments at large. Sheriff, any? No comments at large, so now we'll get right into the miscellaneous business to be conducted. And the first item is now item number 1, discuss and take appropriate action to authorize the county judge to sign the City of Granbury event application allowing the use of the south side of the historical courthouse parking lot beginning midnight Thursday, October 2nd through 6 p.m. Sunday, October 5th for the 2025 Oktoberfest event. Do I hear a motion?
Judge, I had a question for Melissa. So all the contracts for using our facilities, that's all taken care of in their event application? Okay. Okay. thank you.
All
So,
the insurance and everything's all done. It's,
so I move that we authorize the county judge to sign the City of Granbury event application allowing the use of the south side of the historical courthouse parking lot beginning midnight Thursday, October 2nd through 6 p.m. Sunday, October 5th for the 2025 Oktoberfest event.
Second.
made by Commissioner Samuelson to allow the county judge to sign the City of Granbury event for the Oktoberfest on the dates as stated, second by Commissioner Andrews. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion carries 5-0 unanimous. Item number 2, discuss and take appropriate action to authorize the county judge to sign the City of Granbury event application allowing the use of the historical courthouse parking lot for vendor parking beginning 8 a.m. Friday, November 14th through 10 p.m. Saturday, November 15th for the Granbury wine celebration. And again, that's an event that goes through the city. All the insurance and proper applications have been totally submitted on this. Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion to authorize the county judge to sign the City of Granbury event application allowing the use of the historical courthouse parking lot for vendor parking beginning 8 a.m. Friday, November 14th through 10 p.m. Saturday, November 15th for the Granbury wine celebration.
Second.
Okay. Motion been made by Commissioner Eagle to authorize the county judge to sign the City of Granbury event application for the Granbury wine walk celebration on the dates as stated, second by Commissioner Wilson. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously 5-0. Item number 3, consider and take appropriate action to authorize the county judge to sign the following interlocal agreements for Hood County Animal Control. This is done every year for the, oh, there we have. Welcome. We got the head of animal control and the sheriff here, and we got, what is it, 6 municipalities here, so.
Yes,
take it away.
Judge. This is like we've done for quite a few years, putting these together. Sergeant Kirk has worked really hard on all of this, so you should have everything.
Yes.
I have it, yeah.
I was going to say, you're up, Kevin.
Yeah,
So I've spoken with a representative from each city, let them know what the increase or decrease would be for this year. Except for one, they did not return my call, which was Toller. But everyone was very friendly and very appreciative. So.
All at one time. You're not going to object or make.
I've died on that hill alone enough times.
Okay, you denied enough. Okay, let's take it. Do I hear a motion to authorize me to sign all 6 of these, I guess, at one time? We'll do all of them at one time. Do I hear that motion?
Motion to authorize the county judge to sign the following interlocal agreements for Hood County Animal Control: City of Granbury, City of Crescent, City of Stockton Bend, City of Lipan, City of De Cordova, and City of Toller.
Second.
All right, motion been made by Commissioner Samuelson to authorize the county judge to sign the following interlocal agreements for the following agreements with the Hood County Animal Control, the City of Granbury, Crescent, Stockton Bend, Lipan, De Cordova, and Toller, second by Commissioner Wilson. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries again unanimously 5-0. Thank you. Thank you very much. By the way, Kelly here is recognized nationally as one of the best animal control people in the nation. Does a fabulous job, doesn't she, Sheriff?
She does.
Good. So everybody likes her, so that's great. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Good. Thank you very much. Okay, this brings us to the next year, which is item number 4, take appropriate action to hold a public hearing for the proposed budget. So at this time, at 9:25, we are going to convene into a public hearing. So who wants to speak first on this? Do you want to start it off, Ms. Auditor, or?
I was going to ask you if we could, since it's a public hearing, if we could include the item number 12, the capital request, as just part of this, and just move that up.
That's fine with me. It's all right with you? Yeah, all right. Yeah, we can do both of them together then. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So we'll consider both 4 and 4 together there. And we do have one speaker here, Meredith Corrigan. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, Meredith.
My name is Meredith Corrigan, and I am here, I was asked to speak for the transit system, because I understand that's on the agenda for number 4. So I just wanted to give some background. Transportation has always been a top 3 need on any needs assessment done for Hood County. For the senior center specifically, the transit system provides 130 one-way rides a month for us. So you can just extrapolate that across people under 60. The need is pretty great. And in Hood County alone, there's 3,332 people over 60 who are below poverty. So that would speak to the need to have an affordable transit system. And I just wanted to include that in your consideration for that budget item.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I wanted to talk about the vehicles for the Sheriff's Office. So when I originally turned in we've made a lot of changes. So when we originally turned in the request for expenditure, I was asking for 12 vehicles at $1,078,403.23. And Commissioner Eagle had asked me about that. Since then, we've done a lot of changing with wanting to use Sewell. I've got a lot of different quotes. And now I'm down to the final 14 vehicles. And the cost for the 14, after all the changes, is $1,013,769.47. So I was able to bring that down, even adding in more vehicles. I emailed everyone this packet. Did anybody have any specific questions on it? Okay, what about the ballistic glass? I think I tried to go over the ballistic glass of everybody. It did go up, but I would like to still use, it's a different ballistic glass. So we were using the ballistic glass from Dana Safety. It adds 1,800 pounds to our vehicles, and this new glass only adds 400 pounds. We've had a lot of problems with, of course, the control arms and pins breaking, and so I'm hoping this will alleviate some of that with a lighter glass. Plus, it's 100% transferable. The Dana Safety glass is not. As long as the models stay the same, but also the other thing about that is if we do have wrecks sometimes, and if the glass is not damaged, it is 100% transferable into another vehicle. To me, that helps with the cost that's a little more. So.
And the delivery time. So with our prior vendor, we're still waiting on vehicles that were ordered last October, correct?
Correct. And I have last Friday I talked to Scott Beal, who was with Dana Safety, who is our contact person. He told me he was going to call me Monday and give me an update. I have yet to receive an update on that. So I'm still a little frustrated with that. I'm sorry, I can't give you an ETA on those vehicles. I know they're sitting at Dana Safety. I've seen them. There's 6 Tahoes. I can try again and I can email y'all if I get an answer. But as of right now, they still tell me they're waiting on parts.
Well, yeah, I mean, as far as that ballistic glass goes, both the wear and tear on the vehicles by the lighter weight and the fact that it is reusable, it is big. I know it's a little bit more expensive to go that route, but that absolutely makes sense to
I
have
thought so
it.
too. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
So thanks for finding that
You're welcome.
resource.
The only other thing is, we've talked about the fleet program with Sewell, and I emailed y'all the, what's it called, letter of understanding? And I know we're still working on that. The county attorney's looking at some other things to add. They'd ask about automatic withdrawal, and I've talked to Ms. Matlock about that, and so her suggestion was we still try to negotiate that, because at this time, we don't do automatic draw. So my recommendation, if y'all want it, is to do the dashboard for the vehicles, and the price on that is just under $28.50 per vehicle per month. The telematics, I know that y'all are still going back and forth on that. That's the GPS system. I would like to make a recommendation that we do at least the 8 vehicles for transport, because they go out of state and they don't have cameras in their vehicles. They don't have, and the radios don't work once you're out of the county. And so with them going to Colorado, New Mexico, all over the state, honestly, we wouldn't know if something happened to them until they didn't show up. And then we'd have to figure out what happened in between. So that's just my personal recommendation on that. And
So what is it? You said the dashboard per month was?
$28.50 per month.
And if we add GPS?
That's an additional, so the telematics, the subscription fee is $23.75 per month. And then you have 2 options. You have an option to pay a one-time fee of $129 per vehicle with a harness. Well, actually, it says no cost with OEM, and we are OEM integrated, so that's probably not a cost.
Okay.
And then there's another service agreement for 36 months on that. So it looks like it's going to be an additional $23.75 per month for the telematics, our GPS.
Okay.
Absolutely, those transport vehicles. If anything were to happen along the way, to know exactly.
Yes, sir.
Capital expenditure, we would need to set it, just make sure, I think, where'd she go? Oh,
She's under the table.
So I think what our auditor is doing is lining out all the capital requests, so we have them, I don't know, documented, I guess, for lack of a better word, set aside. So for the vehicles, the 14 vehicles, $1,013,769.47, and then what is it? It looks like it's about $52 per vehicle per month if we did both. So I don't know, at this point, we probably should just come up with a round number and set aside that 52 times, I don't know how many vehicles. So with the 14, and we ordered 12, what was that we just ordered from in the prior budget, or in the budget we're in?
We ordered 11.
11. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. The sheriff office has a total of right at 69 vehicles that I manage. But you're considering this countywide?
I'm just trying to come up with a number to put in the budget.
Gotcha.
So that we
Okay.
I don't want to miss anything.
Yes,
but
ma'am.
we may not need all of it. So
Exactly, right.
Okay. Okay. Tell me the number again. Okay. I think that's, and when the vehicles that were ordered, the 11, what's their ETA?
Their ETA is they all had to be specially built. And so once they are on the ground, which they said could take about 3 months, once they're on the ground, 8 to 10 weeks, they promised to have them out to us. And they've already ordered the equipment. So I mean, this is the first time we've used this company. I'm hoping we don't have the same problems, and the equipment's there, and we get our vehicles and not a year later. Yes, I'm hoping. So I've been down there a couple of times. It's a little far, but so far I've liked what I've seen, what they've told me.
So one of the benefits, just so total, being transparent or giving more information to the public, is that we'll be able to sell our current vehicles quicker and receive that money back into the budget, right?
Exactly. Yes, I've already started with I can vehicles. I know the last auction I didn't sell a couple, so I've put them over. You'll see them in our lot too. And I'll get with HR and give her those numbers for the insurance so we can go ahead and pull those off of insurance as well. And what they said is as soon as I'm ready to let them know, they'll send the person down to evaluate the cars, and it should be an easy process. And I think Mr. Tillman's worked on that as well. So.
Okay, so you expect to sell how many vehicles?
About 30 vehicles.
Okay. Any other capital things?
That's all for me for.
Well, since we're up here with capital stuff, we've been needing to get some animal control boxes. And it's been a while since we talked about it, so.
Okay, all right. So what we're handing out is some pictures of the current box that we have now and the box that we're looking at. Animal Control is looking to purchase 2 specialized chassis boxes equipped with air conditioning for our 2 3/4-ton trucks. The current slide-in boxes we are using have proven to be hazardous for both the animals being transported and the officers handling them. We have encountered alarming instances where animals have suffered from overheating inside these boxes, leading to injuries while attempting to enter or exit. Furthermore, the dimensions of these boxes are inadequate, particularly for larger breeds who often struggle to maneuver comfortably, resulting in anxiety and potential harm. During the hot summer months, our officers often find themselves in difficult situation, having to transport animals in the back seat of their trucks unless the animal is aggressive. This practice is not only impractical, but also poses various challenges. Officers must first return the animal to animal control before initiating any new calls, which not only wastes valuable time, but also fuel. Sorry, I'm nervous. Additionally, the height of the existing boxes that we have now proves a further risk. So if I have a dog in the back of the truck right now, I actually have to crawl up on the tailgate to try to get the dog out, where I'm face to face with a potentially dangerous dog. So equipping these would cost between $37,000 to $47,000. We did get 3 quotes. The quote that we went with was obviously the cheapest, and it's with deer skin. While this may seem like a significant expenditure, it is relatively minor when compared to the rising cost associated with fuel, time, the safety of both our officers and the public, and ultimately ensuring the well-being of the animals that we serve. It is the neighboring cities that do, and counties that do have the chassis mounts. Erath County, Mineral Wells, Denton County, Fort Worth, and Arlington use these as well, and they greatly enhance the animal welfare as well as officer safety. So I'm asking y'all not to forget about us and to please think about the animals and our safety with this.
And these are just like the ballistic glass. You move them from vehicle to vehicle.
Yes.
So this could be a long-term investment where, and yeah, that to have those animals out there in that heat and the hot sun in that metal box is, yeah, that's very
So our
concerning.
two smaller trucks, Deerskin provided the box, or we purchased the boxes for those through Deerskin, and they were able to just recently, they're going to put AC in those boxes, and they're able to mount those and do that. But the two larger trucks, the boxes were purchased with another company, and the design is horrible, and we lose so much space and the safety, and they're not able to put the AC units in these boxes. And so with the chassis mount, you just get so much more space. The safety of it, you know, is just so important. And literally right now, I'm making my officers, if they go on a call to pick up an animal, they're required to put the animal in their back seat. I do not want another animal to overheat in those boxes. It's not okay. So we need to move forward and progress and make sure that we have the welfare of the animals in mind. So. Two.
At which, let's see, 47?
Yes, the quote is attached in the back of the packet. So it said 34,327. That was in April. So I added a couple thousand just to make sure that we had enough.
So 37? Okay.
Yes. The quote is for 34,327. That was in April. So, yes. And it may be a little less than that. So.
Any objections?
No, I think, I agree with you, and this is a long-term investment, but so.
Yes.
Safety for the campers, but real safety for the animals. This is something.
Right, and the fuel going back and forth between the calls, and then we're delayed on other calls because we're bringing the animals back, so it's a win-win. I mean. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, good.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I did have a question for Denise, because we had talked about, with some of the vehicles that we have on order that are coming in, the pickup trucks, which we're moving to minivans for transport or whatever.
Yes, sir.
And I guess those are kind of, what are we going to do with them, kind of a thing?
Yes.
And I don't know if we need to necessarily point that out here right now during the budget hearing, but I know, like, AgriLife has got a pickup that's over 100,000 miles.
Yes, sir.
They use that to travel with the 4-Hers and the kids in school, and they use it to to transport animals to some of these shows, Houston, San Antonio, and whatnot. And that needs to be a reliable vehicle. So I would like to see one of those go over there. That one's got I think it's about 105,000 miles, which, you know, maybe we can move that over to facility maintenance or something that's not having to make the long road trips or whatever, and still just do a little shuffle there and make sure that we're getting
Yes, sir.
a good quality vehicle for those kids. And
Yes, if you look, there is a plan for some of those vehicles, but we had discussed this, and I had mentioned it to the sheriff, but with his permission, I think I would have 2 trucks that I would be able to give to maintenance and, who you're talking about. Yes, thank you. With the sheriff's permission, that's going to be.
No, I agree with what we talked about.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So he agrees with that. So yes, I'll be able to do that once the minivans come in and I can pull those vehicles off. So-
Okay. And something else, just kind of for housekeeping, we had spoken about this a little bit about the pool vehicles. Because I know a lot of times some of these departments need to go to a conference or something.
Yes, sir.
And included in this package are some pool vehicles. And Sheriff, if it's okay, I'd like her to kind of manage that for everybody in the county. You guys use them the most, but if TAC needs one to go to conference or whatever, is it okay if they contact Denise? If she kind of keeps up with that and keeps the the scheduling for the pool vehicles running. So,
Yes, that's
Okay.
fine.
okay.
Yes, he's given me permission to do that. It's there. You can email me, call me. In this packet, I added an extra vehicle, a Traverse, and so that'll be available for anybody in the county. Just first come, first serve.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, but somebody's got to keep all that stuff straight. If somebody's got a conference coming up in, June and need it may be a Traverse they need, it may be the Equinox. Or,
Yes,
so,
sir,
yeah.
something smaller, yes.
Okay.
Do a really low price for lieutenant license. She does a great job of managing the fleet.
She does. All the equipment, because
Yes,
she does a great job with the vehicles.
she does.
Well, I would like to thank you all because what we're doing now would not be possible without y'all. I apologize to spam. This has been a long process, and there's been so many moving parts here with the auditor and purchasing and y'all meeting with me and all those meetings we sat through. So thank you, every single one of y'all, for meeting with me and helping getting this done, because it's going to benefit us, but it's also going to benefit the county as well. So thank y'all.
Thank you.
I really appreciate, your hard work and reaching out and helping us through this process. It's been very good working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all.
Road ops?
We good?
All right. Good.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Also, Tom, there's other stuff that I handed out when they were.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and introduce yourself too, please.
So good morning. My name's Dorinda. I serve as the general manager of the transit system. I come before you today to ask, not for charity, but to propose a strategic investment in Hood County's future, one that builds
Miss
our
Long,
economy.
Can you get a little closer to the microphone there? I'm not able to hear you back there.
How about now?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Put it down to your mouth a little bit farther. There you
go. One that builds our economy, supports our workforce, and honors the values we hold dear. A history of our partnership with Hood County. Hood County first sought our services in 1995 after seeing the success of public transportation in neighboring Somerville County, excuse me, which has operated the transit system since 1982. Hood County generously provided office space as an in-kind match along with a cash matching grant. That partnership continued until our county provided office space became the site of the new Justice Center, requiring us to relocate. Our offices were in the old jail. Still, we remained committed to serving Hood County, and the county continued to support the transit with a $30,000 in funding annually until 25, when that support was reduced to $20,000. It's now been 10 years since we've asked for an increase. Today, we are simply requesting your consideration of the original $30,000 that Hood County has contributed for 30 years and an additional $10,000. Not a large ask considering the essential service we provide this community every day. Why public transit matters. Hood County is growing, and while we all treasure our wide open Texas spaces, we must acknowledge the challenges that come with the growth, especially for those who don't drive, can't drive, or can't afford to drive. Public transportation isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for thousands of Hood County residents. The data speaks for itself. More than 14,000 riders were provided last year. Precinct 1 and 2 account for 52% of all that ridership. and Precinct 3 alone represents nearly 33% of the remainder. These aren't just numbers, they're your constituents, seniors, people with disabilities, single parents, and low-income workers trying to get to medical appointments, jobs, and groceries. When someone from your precinct boards one of our buses, they're not asking for a favor. They're participating in their community and relying on us to help them do it. Our most vulnerable deserve better. For our elderly and disabled residents, those who've contributed to Hood County for decades, transportation becomes a barrier to simply living for them. No one should be stranded because they can't drive anymore. For our workforce, especially those in food service, healthcare, and retail, affordable housing often lies far from their jobs. The transit system connects these workers to employers. And make no mistake, businesses in Granbury rely on this system more than they realize. A modest proposal with a major impact. This year, we're asking for a $10,000 increase in funding, bringing the county's total contribution to $40,000. So putting that into perspective, that's less than 0.7%. That's 0.07% if we assume Hood County's budget is $64 million. That breaks down to under 70 cents per rider for the service we provide. At just 70 cents per ride, this is one of the most efficient, meaningful public investments you can make. Few other budget items deliver so much value for so little. And here's the kicker. For every $1 you invest locally, we unlock $4 to $5 in federal and state funding. That money doesn't disappear. It comes right back into Hood County in the form of jobs, vehicles, driver's salary, and local spending. The transit system is economic development. A strong public transportation system is a magnet for economic growth. It allows local businesses to hire and retain workers. It improves mobility for tourists and visitors. It shows companies looking to relocate to Hood County is future-ready, connected, and open for business. This is a test of our values. This is not about politics. This is about people. It's about whether we back up our words, about respect for our elders, support for working families, and smart fiscal policy with meaningful action. And today you have that opportunity. This isn't about spending. It's about preventing greater future costs. When people can't get to dialysis, grocery stores, or work, the county picks up the cost elsewhere. You're trying to save $10,000 just to save money, but it forfeits up $50,000 in federal support. That's a 5-time return lost. There's no other line item in the budget where $10,000 cut eliminates $60,000 in service impact. It's like refusing to put $1 in a vending machine that returns $5. And I invite each of you, sincerely, to spend a day with us. Ride along, meet the people who depend on this service. See firsthand what public transportation means in their lives, and imagine what their lives would look like without it. I've brought a gentleman here who rides our service. Would you like to say something?
How are you doing? My name is Joseph Vaughn. I personally have not driven a day in my life, never owned a driver's license due to my disability. I rely on the transit nearly almost every week, every month, every year. I've been riding with the transit for over 15 years and they keep me safe. They keep me living every day. And as she said, Granbury is growing every day. I use them more than 50 times a year to go to my medical appointments, to go to the grocery store, to live my life. If it wasn't for them, I would not be able to carry out my life, to take care of my life. They are reliable 100%. I don't know any other transportation company other than public transportation that doesn't exist in Granbury, ever growing Granbury, than them. So I support them 100%. I've never had an issue with them. Thank you.
Thank you.
So commissioners, we're not asking for more spending. We're offering a high return investment in health, dignity, and prosperity for our community. With all due respect and in full alignment with the values Hood County holds dear, I ask for your consideration.
Good deal. Thank you very much. The thing that's very important is that for every dollar that the county contributes, we get 5 back from the federal government, right?
Yes, sir.
It's just a good investment, and we really do need it. I mean,
$40,000 probably pays 3.5 months of our fuel bill.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
I did put 40,000 in my proposed budget, didn't I? And then it's cut back to 30,000. But the extra 10, it doesn't affect the percentage rate or anything else that proposed of the 0.2797, right? Would it, the 10,000?
You
You understand
could,
my question? I said, the additional 10%, $10,000, does not affect in any way the tax rate of 0.2797, does it?
you could reallocate funds and then it would not affect your tax rate. It would be up to the court.
Okay. I hope that it does. I know that we need it. I noticed that one of the vehicles was in a wreck, that was not our fault.
No, sir.
Not the driver's fault. It was some illegal alien actually that caused the wreck, totaled the vehicle. Thank God no one was injured, but the insurance is not going to pay enough to get another
Replace it.
vehicle in, and so we're waiting for another grant to try to see if we can get another vehicle. So it's really tight. And when you look at the number of rides into precinct 1, the 3,901 rides, that's for 1 year.
1
The-
year.
Precinct 2, 3,638 rides. Precinct 3, 4,707 rides. And precinct 4, 2,146 rides. That's a lot of rides for a lot of people, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I mean, this makes a big difference in people's lives about how they're going to get, like you said, to work, to a doctor's appointment, to pick up prescriptions, to get to the, we really need to try to do this. This is something that's really, really important. I mean, I'm really for this. An extra $10,000 really is a big multiplier.
Yes,
for
sir.
what it does. Okay. Thank you for coming down and taking
Thank
your time
you.
out to present this. Thank you. Okay. We're still in public hearing. Yes. Fire Marshal Jeff Young.
Do you have something else? Go ahead. Mine's a big thorn in the side, so before I make them all mad, you go do your thing.
It's not, I guess they're in the Capitol and all that. Is that what you got?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll sit back here.
Okay.
Judge, Commissioners, I don't know if this serves as a reminder, please consider this kind of thing, but if you recall back in June, we had that workshop with all the fire department requests at nearly $6.7 million. If we replace the last 2 trucks that are 25-year-old pumper tankers. That would bring it to nearly 8.9. I did want to give you guys an update. Our trucks have been moved up. All of them are supposed to be delivered mid-26. If we approve the additional trucks that were in that request from the fire department and the other two that I threw in there to replace all of the old ones, we can still piggyback that order. And they would be delivered the same time as the other ones in mid-26. If we go much past November, December, they're going to get put back in the queue, and then you're looking at another 2-year build out. But because ours have not gone into engineering yet, we can piggyback that order.
Long before they say it's not available for piggybacking.
But that's right, around November, December time, I think, towards the end of the year. Once the trucks that we have on order go into engineering, we cannot add anything to those trucks. If we add them before they go into engineering and they start designing these trucks out and getting the chassis all lined out and everything else, we can add the trucks to them and still have them delivered at the same time. Now, I know there's a lot of other big projects that we're looking at and considering and things going on. I just wanted to throw out that as a reminder thing. We got this big fire department thing to chew on.
And remind us about, go ahead, Jack.
What's the additional cost of those two tankers?
So that would be part of the 8.9 that was at the bottom of the sheet.
Okay, so it is part of that. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So remind us the grand total.
Exact or the 8.9 part?
That includes the two additional.
That would include the extra 2 trucks. The 6.7 would be all except for those 2 trucks when you consider the air packs, the bottles, the mask, the rescue tools, all the things that the fire department's asked for in that June meeting. That 6.7 would be that minus the 2 trucks that the departments themselves did not request, but I put that down there as a kind of an add-on in case we wanted to get rid of the last 2 25-year-old trucks.
Does that include the dock for the boat for Indian Harbor, or is that separate?
It does. The 6.7 includes that.
I don't know how we would do that. Do you? Well, I mean, we can't build the dock, right? It's not on, it's on Indian Harbor HOA property, right?
It's property that the HOA has granted them, yes. Are they spinning or are they gaining traction?
Yeah, no, it's mostly the spinning. I think there's more conversation that we definitely need to have, figure out a route forward on that, and then.
For our auditor, just to kind of go back through what this is. So Indian Harbor and Texas EMS are building a new combined fire EMS station away from the current location of the Indian Harbor Fire Department. So the fire boat if it moves up to the new location, it's going to take longer to get it in the water. So they were requesting to have a dock built so that it would be on the water to be faster to fires. Is that about sum it up?
Correct. Quicker deployment.
Do you remember what the cost was, what the estimated cost?
Yes. So actually the number that they threw out was $147,281. And there was some discrepancy between the chief and the assistant chief. The chief thinks it'll be more than that, but said they will happily pay the difference.
Okay. But it wouldn't be on our, it wouldn't be a county-owned facility, so I'm not sure how we would do that, other than a grant, I guess. Do you have an idea for that?
I suppose it could be a pass-through grant like the others.
Okay.
Like the new stations that are
3 of them
being built
right.
by Texas EMS, yeah. Yeah, if anybody hasn't seen that, out there on Contrary Creek, after the bend right there at the front gate of Indian Harbor down there on the left, they are progressing with that, pretty excited about that, ready to see those going up. But that one is, the construction is underway, so.
If the concrete hasn't already been poured, it probably will be by the end of the week.
Probably be 6 months or so.
I think you'll have a building frame there in probably a month and a half, if not completely skinned out, and then they have to start on the inside.
Okay.
What's the possibility of Indian Harbor HOA donating the land to, to the county to build that dock?
I think the HOA has already donated it to Indian Harbor. I can ask them about the logistics of donating it to the county instead of the harbor. I mean, instead of the fire department.
Well, my fear on that is this thing would cost us $500,000 to build it as a county. That the fire department will have value in the community willing to help them out. I think they could get this built significantly cheaper. So I'm more in favor of the pass-through grant with some kind of an agreement, or, I don't know what that would look like as guaranteeing our availability to that facility for long term. So I think that would probably be a better route than the county doing it. So
I can work on fleshing that out however you'd like it to be done.
$8.9 million puts a pretty big load on our capital budget, so I think that we're going to have to talk about this some more. So there maybe some other options.
But the good news is my request makes the last one look pretty pale in comparison.
yeah. Thanks for taking one for the team there, Jeff.
Yes, sir. Anything else for me? No? All right.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Hi, how are y'all doing? So, much like Jeff, I'm just kind of here as a...
Your name and who you represent.
Yes, sir. I'm Sam Graff. I'm the Executive Director of Emergency Services for Pecan Plantation. I presented last month here at the court, looking at being subsidized slightly by this court for EMS runs. We added it up and looking and talking with Sean, we make about 20% of the Hood County runs for emergency services. Part of that proposal was not just coming here and looking for a handout, but we were willing to take over the Pecan Fire District that's already being ran by the fire department with EMS as well. Mainly out the back gate of Pecan and out that front gate of Pecan, where there's been some extended run times due to staffing and just no fault to Ricky and Texas EMS. They're doing a great job, but there's just not enough ambulances. They got one ambulance for every 16,000 residents. We have one ambulance for every 4,500 residents in Pecan. We have ambulances available. We're needing some funding help. Between what Pecan residents pay, our Glen Rose contract, and then ambulance runs, we're bringing in somewhere around 1.4 mil, but our costs are about 1.8. Compared to Ricky, I know he's got about 4.1 million coming in, but his ambulance costs are 4.3 mil per the 501c3 records on file from last year. We are just looking for about 90,000 is what it worked out to. I know Texas EMS is getting 450,000. We asked for 20% of that to go towards Pecan EMS to help fund our ambulance services to the Hood County residents we provide. Plus, we were willing to step outside the gates and take care of residents both out the front and back gate. I just kind of wanted to put that reminder to the court.
One of the things that we were talking about is how would that, wouldn't there need to be an agreement between you and Texas EMS to be able to be first call for that territory?
If you look at Texas code and law, it's actually up to y'all as county commissioners to decide who provides ambulance service and to where. And y'all could deem that we do it or don't.
Well, I think we definitely need to have Texas EMS involved in this conversation.
Agreed.
And figure out these type of details.
One of the differences between what the county does for Pecan, because it's a combined fire and EMS, is the county pays for insurance on the ambulances, which isn't the case for Texas EMS. So that's about $30,000. So.
And we cover the workers' comp, which the county covers the workers' comp on all the other fire departments, but we cover that. It's kind of the trade-off.
Do you know what the amount is for the workers'
I can
comp?
get you that number.
Okay. I don't know. Do you know, Jeff?
Bring this to y'all while
Oh,
he's
sure.
walking up.
So I don't know what the workers' comp cost is for Pecan, but I know when we have looked at covering their work comp before in the past, it almost triples what we pay in workers' comp currently, primarily because they have a 24/7 ambulance service. And so with the workers' comp for the volunteer fire departments, they basically, the fire departments get audited each year, and we put in how many man hours they spend at the station, how many hours they spend on a call, that kind of stuff. And the number of hours that the fire department spend in service versus a 24-hour operation, that's kind of where the trade-off came with the work comp for Pecan, primarily because of the ambulance service. But I don't know what that dollar amount is.
Okay. I'm just trying to determine if it's a wash or if it's, about the same, 30,000. So
I know when we looked at it, it was going to almost triple what our work comp was if we added Pecan just because of the ambulance service. And that's not a service that we provide for Texas EMS either.
What's that?
We don't pay their work comp.
Oh,
So we pay the work comp for the other 7 volunteer fire departments, because we haven't in the past paid the work comp for Granbury either. That's one of the things that they have been considered for this year, because the city insurance provider is not going to do any insurance products for volunteer fire departments anymore. Mm-hmm. And that's just the company that the city uses.
yeah, I think it's important for the people that live out the back gate towards Treaty Oaks and Power Plant down that way to have quick response time. I'm just not sure how to go through this with Texas EMS.
Well, one thing I will like to add, the addition of those new stations that are being built are going to improve upon those times on both ends. And the other side of that, not to step on Sam's toes, but just as a reminder, the county is under contract with Texas EMS for 911 calls in the county.
Right.
This is a very similar situation to, let's look next door at Johnson County. Care Flat Ground takes care of the county ambulance service, but inside the city limits, Cleburne Fire responds to that, and the citizens of the city pay the city department for, I hate to use this word, but for an elevated service, to have an ambulance right there, sitting there ready. And this is a very similar situation. It is, these are county taxpayers, and they do have some equal expectation from the county as the rest of the county does. But they are paying for an elevated service through their monthly dues. So this is kind of a tricky math situation there that there are a lot of angles involved in this. We need to figure out exactly where to be.
There are, but we also have a mutual aid contract with
Right.
the county and with Texas EMS.
Yes, yes.
So we do run the same indigent care that they're running into, where we're not getting paid back either via Medicare or no insurance at all. And so that's where some of our loss comes in, that we're just looking for some subsidy on. Whether we get it or not, we're going to continue to mutual aid, because it's not about the money, it's about our residents of this county and taking care of them. We're just trying to assist not only y'all as a county commissioner court and making this decision, but also Ricky and Texas EMS, and just helping alleviate some of these longer run times, whether it's temporary until those stations are built, or even after they're built. Running this whole county on 4 ambulances is tough. And so adding 2 more to that system gives you 6. We already mutual aid out. We've been all the way over to Casey's over there at 51 in the loop on mutual aid calls from Pecan. If we take that southeastern hemisphere, it kind of does free up some of Texas EMS's ambulances for the rest of the county.
Now, how many calls outside of Pecan that you've done mutual aid for in the
I
last?
asked Sean to get me some numbers. He's still working on them. Now, he did pull some. I'm more than happy to give these to y'all. Y'all can decipher through them.
Jack? Is this one?
No, that's about 16 different calls there.
Oh, is this one packet though?
It's one packet. Sorry, I didn't bring all that, but I got those numbers fairly memorized.
Okay.
If you look, he ran the RV park out the back gate of Pecan, and then he ran over there by the dam. Some of those run times are 25, 35 minutes on cardiac arrest, drowning, shootings. He pulled morning, afternoon, and evening times.
Yeah, you're gonna have to decipher this.
Yeah, I spent late last night deciphering. That's how I have those numbers memorized. But again, I'm not here to try to put down Texas EMS in any way. It's just not my style. I'm here for trying to assist and help the county. We have resources available. We do need some help with funding, but we're also willing to step up and assist the county in any way that we can.
So, Fire Marshal, are you planning to have the next year's volunteer fire department contracts on the next agenda?
Get my steps in today.
Yes, ma'am. I was just waiting to see where we were with the budget,
Okay,
because the budget's kind of got to be approved for me to put a number in there
yeah.
before I ask anybody to sign anything.
So if the court was agreeable to doing some sort of subsidy with Texas EMS, I would envision that that contract would have like 2 sections in it, one for fire and a subsidy for fire that's already there, and then a subsidy for.
I would think that if we're going to do this, we would want to consider doing a completely separate subsidy for Pecan Plantation EMS, if that's the court's wishes.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you, Ricky has asked for 800,000 and we cut him back to 450. So he's already at half of what he's asked for. So if you cut another 90,000 out of that, that's 90,000, that's 490,000 less than what he asked for.
I wasn't, just me personally, I wasn't thinking of decreasing the subsidy to Texas EMS. I was thinking about some additional.
Adding a whole nother separate.
Yeah.
And I could do an MOU with Pecan Plantation EMS if that's what you'd like.
Yeah, but maybe something to take into account the funds that the county's already paying for the insurance on the boxes.
Okay.
But I don't know. I need to hear from the rest of the court.
I think what you're saying is reasonable. And of course, mutual aid, we already do that. We've already, and it need to flow as best as we can wherever the need arises there. So,
I can draft up a whole nother interlocal if you'd like.
And the funds would come out of contingency so that it doesn't impact the budget, or?
They sure can.
Okay. Any Eagle or Wilson, or what do y'all think? Okay. So,
That said, so technically Texas EMS is under contract, and in their contract, it never outlined an amount. It just basically says the county can provide a subsidy and or ambulances. So it wouldn't be it technically wouldn't be the same contract that Texas EMS has with the county. It would just be kind of the interlocal agreement that we have with the fire department. It's only geared more towards the EMS side. So
I mean,
is
it's
that
the
how I
same-
understand it?
That's what I'm thinking. It's the same entity. Pecan Fire and EMS Inc. is one entity.
Okay.
But it would just, I guess we could ask
Well-
our attorneys if it's better to have it.
So the thing about that is, and if you remember back when Becky was here, our subsidies right now are very clear that the money that we give to the fire department is for fire department only.
Right.
So I don't know that I could just increase the amount that we
No.
give
No,
to them.
I
It would
was
have to
just
be a whole
saying have-
separate
right.
interlocal.
Have a separate paragraph, article, whatever they want to call it in
It'd be
the,
a whole different interlocal. It'd
Or
be
a
an
separate
interlocal as if we were
agreement.
doing
That's
one with
fine.
them
Either way.
directly. I'll draft it up.
so are y'all comfortable with 50,000 or 60,000? What?
I think I need more information to just kind of come up with a number. Let's chew on it and look it over, and we can bring that as part of the interlocal next time. But we got to get on this and get this hammered out pretty quick.
Copy that.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Is there anybody else out here wanting to speak at this public hearing? Yes, Sheriff, you still.
What I handed out earlier was the Senate bill information for this year coming up. And I was waiting till this day when the budget was more finalized before I put this out. So I've talked with the auditor many times about this, and so what I've handed out to you, I kept the jail the same, helping them with the subsidies. Then it includes for 2 positions. Last year it was 3, but to support the raise that you guys are hopefully going to approve here in a little bit, then that will pay for these 2 positions that we have there. And then down at the bottom, stipends for the deputies. I'm just trying to get the money up for them as high as I can just to keep them around, because everybody else is going to be going up in pay, like the city of Granbury. Come October 1st, they'll be at 76,000, and a lot of other people are going up a bunch. Johnson County, I've heard 13%. So with the deputies, the rules in that, you have to make traffic stops. Deputies that make traffic stops, I think is the way it reads, in their daily jobs. So 31 deputies will get $1,000. The investigators from the street crimes, that's part of their job too, is making those traffic stops. The corporal, sergeant, lieutenant. So with that added up, it's going to leave me $693.75 out of that money. So pretty much spent it. But that's how I plan to use it for this coming year. So
that brings the start patrol at $69,970.
correct. So 30 bucks shy of 70,000. So for starting pay. So that's
Smart use.
better than it was. So
Yeah.
I appreciate everything you guys have talked about. So with the pay, I know that's been a big deal with the step plan. I don't know, I didn't get to talk to you about that really, how that's going to come out, but that is a big deal to a lot of the deputies of knowing where they're going to be from year to year into the future. But on the other hand, I appreciate what Dave Commissioner Eagle put out there the 10% across the board. So me as the sheriff, and I've got like 170 employees, that I'm very thankful for that because of the clerks and everybody included in that. So I'm very happy for that. The other things that I've had asked for is like the Justice Center security. We got a jury going on down in district court. Some days we got juries there and people coming and going. And right now we only have 3 people down here. So what I have to do is take people away from their jobs, the mental health people and others, just to fill in, to cover for lunches and to cover just busy days. I know it doesn't happen every day of the week, but it happens a lot. So I pull people away a lot of times. So I wish you could put that 4th person back over here under that. I've asked for the extra dispatch position to take care of a lot of the paperwork. I hope that's still in there because last night, I hope my Band-Aid doesn't fall off here. I was at the fire chief's meeting last night and they told me we needed to improve things at dispatch. So that would help at dispatch because they were chewing on me about need more dispatchers. Well, okay, come to the commissioners and we'll work on that for next year, I guess. So we're doing great things in dispatch, and that's one thing that Tyler and Sean are always trying to do, is trying to make it better. They're not thinking about themselves, because those guys will come in and work a night shift just because they need to, and they'll never complain about it. And it's all about covering the shifts and making sure that fire, EMS, law enforcement gets the information and the people can call in 911, they get the right information and get it out to the people. So there's maybe some tweaking that needs to be done, but those guys are doing a fantastic job in there with what they have. We got that 7th console in there, but it's not up and ready to go. They have to fix a few things on it. So we're waiting for them to come back out. The vehicles, I'm very happy with all of that, so I can't complain about anything. This year we've never had a year like this. We've had, going way back in the past, I remember the days when they get used vehicles out of Austin that had 100,000 miles on it for patrol. And so we've come a long, long ways from that. So I'm very appreciative for that, keeping everybody safe on the road with top-end equipment. It's a fantastic thing. So I appreciate everything you do. There's always, it's hard to make everybody happy, but that step plan is something that, I was here as a fire marshal when the step plan was put into place, and I always told them that the steps are too close together. And they said, well, that's the way it is for now, and hopefully we can fix it. Well, that's been 20 years ago, so a long time ago, that it needs to get straightened out. So I don't know what you have on tap for that, but it could use improvement. So I appreciate everything you do, and any questions you have of me.
SB 22, this is necessarily for you, but just in general, were the county attorney and district attorney going to come and discuss theirs? Or I know they sent them to us, so I don't know if we have any discussion.
Automobiles.
I guess you have that in front of you somewhere in all your paperwork, but the main thing that we did when we started using the Senate bill money was to bring the 2 investigators over to help the sheriff out so they could free up the opportunity to hire their replacements and basically add 2 positions. So what I've tried to do from the beginning on the investigator pay is just keep it in line with the going rate with what the sheriff's investigators are making. So we just put the 10% in there, and we're able to use it to give raises to the lawyers and to give we added a part-time clerk last year, and so we're just trying to keep the part-time clerk. And so with the raises and everything, we're now up to spending within about $5,000 of the total award money. So we've just about used all the money. Is there any specific questions? It's pretty simple, I think.
Good, thank you. Any other speakers in this public hearing?
Capital things we should talk about. Road ops, you had some capital requests?
Judge, Commissioners, it was, the request for your consideration was 2 8-yard dump trucks, international dump trucks, and 2 Chevrolet or 1-ton trucks for the crews. Those were the only two things that I had, or the 4 items.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Actually, the dump trucks are one of them. They're 2007, 2008 models. So they're 17, 18 years old. You know, right at 200,000 miles on both. One is 193, 838, and the other one is 194, 184. The 2 1-tons are 2005 models. So they're 20 years old. Those as well have, one of them has 181,000, the other one has 179,000.
So the capital request for those trucks would be?
For all of them, for everything, would be 378, 720, 44. When I quoted those, priced those, I told them they bidded them for October 25
Okay.
price.
You got that in there? Okay.
That is currently in the capital request, not embedded in the budget, per se. It's a separate deal.
But the capital that you're setting aside, or I don't know if that's the right word, but the capital that you have built into the budget, is that a way to say it?
Sure.
Okay.
Currently, you have, the way the budget looked yesterday when I sent it to you, we have 1 million in contingency and then 2.8 that can go towards capital expenditures. What we've talked about today, we're about 3 million outside of the fire request. That includes the dashboard for the sheriff's office, which I don't know if that's still on the table. 2 1-tons, the 2 dump trucks for road and bridge. It also has the radio requests, so I don't know if you want to keep that in there or take that out. That would change it quite a bit. The radio in the second EOC is 1.368 million. So that's up to y'all. We haven't talked about that today, but initially when we discussed capital, that was something that was brought up. So I just put all the requests in there and you guys can navigate that how you see fit. But without the fire request that was just made for the 8.9, we're at 3,005,400, including that radio stuff. So.
What is the radio again?
So a Crescent Tower, radio additions,
okay.
AED additions, and a second EOC is what I'm showing.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess that brings us to the discussion of fund balance and pulling some of that in to set aside for certain capital expenses. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I know that we've got some facility needs kind of looming. We've looked at it here and there. You know, we've talked about some way to get DPS, driver's license office, from the state back into the county. That's a need we have. I know elections has outgrown Annex 1 in its current configuration. Does that need do we need to move some folks around and expand that area there? Are there other opportunities? I've been kind of looking around for some buildings and facilities out there to see if there's something that might fit our needs that that we can move into. I know eventually we will get another district court at some point, whether that's 2 years down the road or 10, I don't know. But eventually, and I think that the answer to that is take JP 1 and 2 and Constable 1 and 2 out of the Justice Center here and put them in another facility somewhere, whether that's one facility for both of them combined or 2 facilities, or exactly what that looks like. I think there's a lot of discussion that needs to happen there, and we've got to figure out where we need to be. Kind of like the master thoroughfare plan, we've got to figure out where we need to be 5 years, 10 years down the road, and get a plan together for that. So one of the things that we had talked about was like the YMCA money, to leave that as in capital rolled over as available if the right opportunity came along to purchase real estate or to do some remodeling or whatever we might need to do at that point. That was whenever we went over and talked to the auditor over in Erath County. He talked about the new building that they had done. They just carried that over in their capital budget and just didn't spend it until they got to the point where they needed to go, and then they were able to build that building with those funds. So something like that, to have that availability and potential if we find the right thing. We also need to, I think, earmark some of that fund balance for eventually. We've got some remodeling we've got to do in the jail. We've got to replace the plumbing system in there to some extent, whether that's coming in and digging up the floor or doing the cure-in-place plumbing, the trenchless pipe replacement. There's going to have to be some stuff done there. So when is that endeavor going to be on us? It's either, if everything works according to plan, then after new facilities are built, we'll move everybody over there, then we can go in and do the remodeling. But I think that we need to be open to the possibility that something may happen between now and then, and we have to get on a contingency plan there and deal with that. So
along with the tower, there's a possibility of setting aside funds for a radio network. So are you saying that might be part of the $5.4 million from the sale of the YMCA?
I think that could very well be, yes.
So now we look at the auditor. How do we do that?
So later in this court today, we have on the agenda to accept those funds from the sale of the YMCA building in the amount of $5.4 million. Right now, they're sitting in the general fund. But if you would like to move those or have them parking or sitting and waiting in Fund 55, that rolls. So you could increase the revenue there and then create an expense line for building fund or whatever you want to call that. Or you could separate those out however you wish. But then that would keep it in a holding pattern in Fund 55 until you guys decided to make a plan for it.
Yeah, indefinitely. So if the right thing didn't come along, that just rolls over next year.
Right.
Or, for the next 5 years, whatever it is. But
That after we accept the budget?
Yes.
Or do we need to move that item up?
No, that's a this year thing, so it doesn't have to be part of the budget process.
Okay, good point.
My initial budget of the 0.3165. Y'all worked it down to the 0.2797. We may have to kind of increase the tax rate that takes care. I don't want to pay any more taxes, but just a little bit more to take care of road ops. These trucks are driving, or you could get them in the Smithsonian at 20 years old, 17, 18 years old, and the fire department, God, I like what Jeff proposing of getting these fire trucks piggybacked in and getting them out in production right now instead of waiting. You never know what's going to happen there. The need is so far here, you just can't keep reducing the proposed tax rate with all the need the legitimate need that's here in the county. I mean, Kate.
I would agree with you if we didn't have an excessive fund balance. Our fund balance is twice what it should be. And even this year, we tried to kind of take that down a little bit, and we ended up only impacting it by $700,000.
As of yesterday.
Yeah. So, I mean, the good news is we're very well funded as a county. We have relatively zero debt. Well, I think that one of the commissioners will be talking about that in a little bit.
Never going to have any debt. We're never going to buy any fire trucks, or any new dump trucks, or road op.
No, I think that it's based on what she just said, is we can accommodate the sheriff vehicles, the road op vehicles, and all the things we've talked about up to the radio tower and, the 8.9 million for the fire trucks. And then, that doesn't even include the 5.4 million that we're talking about using as capital investment. So,
yeah, and I think that it's good practice to pull out these one-time purchases and let those be fund balance. Use the fund balance to buy the one-time purchases, like dump trucks that are going to last for a significant amount of time instead of that being in the maintenance budget. So that's a good practice for how to spend down your fund balance. So.
well, yes, I am. I don't know. Are y'all any other? We talked about. Okay. What about? We can still talk about the budget in the next agenda item, right? Okay.
So at 20 minutes to 11, we're continuing back into Commissioner's report. Item number 5, consider the proposed budget. It was the subject of the public hearing that we just had here at Tuesday, September the 9th, 2025, for Hood County fiscal year 2026, including any changes as agreed, and take a record vote regarding that budget pursuant to the local government code 111.008 and 111.009 and tax code chapter 26. So, after all of that, do I hear any motion to approve the budget?
Just to verify with the auditor and just to recap, just make sure that in the current budget, dispatch went up 1 position. There was a radio tech added to the budget. Collection station added half-time, half a position. County court at law added an interpreter. There's a new concept for holiday pay, which we have to write a policy for the sheriff's department. And then did you want to talk about the overtime?
Yeah, well, and actually the holiday situation too, I know that we'll still have to write a policy on that, but my idea on that was for the major holidays, the shift workers that are out there having to come in and get this done, instead of giving them holiday time, let's make make it just an 8-hour day if they work that day. So in other words, and it's only,
I have to list here.
yeah, well, thank you. I think I've got that somewhere over here in this pile, but yeah, it's Thanksgiving, or well, we'll start here. New Year's Day, Easter, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving Day. I think I missed Good Friday in there. I think we had changed Good Friday for the day after Thanksgiving. So Good Friday and then Easter, Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day.
Okay.
So.
I'll have to write.
Right, yeah, this is just kind of the idea. That way, these folks working on those holidays to get up to 8 hours. If they work 6 hours that day, they get 6 hours of holiday pay. But if they work a regular shift, they get up to 8 hours of pay that day. And that deals with the 9, yeah. Yeah, that was kind of my proposal on that, how to deal with the holiday pay and still these guys that are having to spend time away from their families on those days. That's instead of giving them holiday time that they can't ever take off, just go ahead and make that part of their pay and move on with it. Yes, double pay up to 8 hours. Most of them work 12-hour shifts that day, but yeah. So, and then on the overtime, what we had talked about, we looked back over the last few years, we were up to about $180,000 liability on comp time with sheriff's office. So we kind of struck a deal and a little, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine kind of deal. What we're going to do is set aside $60,000 because over the last 3 years, that comp time liability was $187,000 over the 3 years. So if we set aside $60,000 and then quarterly, we'll go in and look at that. If it's under $15,000 at the end of the first quarter, then we'll go ahead and pay that time out. And if it's not, then we'll have to wait till next time. So for each quarter, there'll be $15,000 there available for the overtime if we keep it below that. And then for the jail, that's for patrol. For the jail, it ended up being about 20,000. So that's a pretty low number to only have 5,000 per quarter on that.
They're fully staffed, which they haven't been in the past, so maybe that's okay.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll work out. So kind of earmark 20,000 for the overtime in the jail, and then dispatch, I guess, just go with what we've done there in the past.
They currently have an overtime budget in dispatch.
Yeah. So that was kind of something we've talked with the sheriff about, and if anybody has any input on that.
Those funds are going to be in contingency.
Yes.
In general admin. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll bring that out of contingency when, at the end of the quarter, when you're below that $15,000. So
What happens if it's over 15,000?
it stays as comp time. And then the next quarter, we can evaluate that again. So if you're, no, this is kind of the give and take. So at the end of the second quarter, if you're below the 30, then we pay it out. See what I'm saying? That way it's kind of a give and take. Both sides get a little on that, so. Right.
But here's some issue that I have is that they have let me find my notes, from their, from their audit, they have assets of $3.8 million in cash and cash equivalents of $1.4 million. And it just feels to me like we are keeping entrepreneurs who might have a startup business to do rideshare. We're putting the hand of the government on that so that entrepreneurs don't have the opportunity to fill a need and create jobs. And so that's my, as Commissioner Andrews says, what do you say? Your stomach's twisting or something?
Yeah, guts are twisted.
Yeah, that's my concern with this, is that it's competing with existing businesses.
But it's not yet. GET, Granbury Executive Travel?
No, I mean, it's not.
It's not at all. Granbury Executive Travel is doing excellent. It's expanding. They are really increasing. It's not doing this. That guy, these people that they're having, they can't pay the $3 fee. The $3 fee. These people, and look at the need, and every one of these precincts up here.
Mm-hmm.
These people are, there's no business that wants these guys as customers. They can't afford anything.
I don't know about that.
They can't pay the $6. They're not preventing anybody from getting anything. They just got to have a ride to work and see a doctor. I mean,
And, I agree with you. This is a difficult situation. This is something that oftentimes does end up being a local government issue with mass transit. And I know there are people out there that need this. But I see pretty good cash reserves there, and I don't know about strapping the taxpayers when they're sitting on a pretty good cash reserve right now. I say leave it at 30.
I'm good. I mean, it went back from 20 to 30, so it was 20 last year.
We dropped it down from 30 to 20.
Because they have plenty of cash, 1.4 million.
They don't own anything. It's all from grant. If it went out of business, they don't own the building. They don't own the land. They don't own anything.
They have $3.8 million in assets. Well, that's what their financial statement says.
$10,000 to the budget versus $50,000 to the transit system. Look what it does to everybody in y'all's precinct.
I do get that. I understand that. But there's pretty significant cash reserves there, and that.
What about the, we need to talk about the request from our IT director for would you like to come up to the?
Yes, Commissioner.
You had requested a business analyst, a Tyler expert.
A senior business analyst.
Senior business.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have currently the position that's not filled for the office managers at 44,000. Is that correct? Sorry.
Yes, it was 40, but with the 10%, it's 44.
Okay.
I would like to see if there's maybe this is an opportunity with Goldsmith, who's involved in county business and will surely have people that understand and work within the Tyler software a pretty significant time. This may be something that we could reach out to them and see if there's a possibility that they could fit that need for us. And I don't know, Doesn't give you a office manager at that point, but,
I believe that Tyler support is the most important part of that equation.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, my view on that is that we at least have a place setting for it, because he hasn't had a chance to explore Goldsmith or other outside potential. But we're at budget time, so it would probably be why. I mean, we're down. We've gone from 10 employees to 5 in IT, and then there's 2 that cross over at the sheriff's department to some extent. So having a place setting for a Tyler person there, I think we need to put it in there, and then if it turns out we don't need that, then we don't have to come back and do something midstream, that's my take on it. But I'm just one guy sitting over here by myself.
I concur with that thought also, sir.
Now there's 2 of us.
Well, what value do we put in that placeholder?
I think you had a number in mind, didn't you?
Yes, sir. We were going to put 75 as a placeholder with every intention of obviously not using it if we don't need it.
And that's in lieu of having that 44,000 office manager, right?
No, I was proposing that we increase the office manager from 44 to 75 and reclass it as a senior IT analyst.
But so we're saying the same thing.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So it's just an increase of around 30-something thousand.
Right.
Yes.
So,
And
are you?
I believe the work split would be 70-30, 70-30 for Tyler, 30 for the office manager, portion of it.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see, that, that if you could explore other options and then do a little bit, because you've been here, this is your 10th day or something. You haven't really had an opportunity to, do a job description with an exact salary, what would be required. So I think that, we don't need to add a head count to the budget because you've got the office manager there. If you find out that Goldsmith isn't going to work or some other option isn't going to work and you need to hire a person, then you'll have a better idea what the salary would be, and then we could augment that 44 to something else from contingency, or do we need to change it now? I guess that's the question I have. Did you already ask that question, Eagle?
I don't know why we've got an earmark for 44,000 for a office administrator, right? And we're going to change the title and take that to 75.
Okay.
And we just use that. If we don't use it all, then we're okay there too. But I think, we put the placeholder in for 75.
I agree. And just change the nomenclature. Okay? Is that all right?
Yeah, it's probably going to change the tax rate by a little tiny bit.
That would be creating a new position that is outside of our current matrix, right? There's a lot of department heads that don't make that kind of money. So it would be an interesting precedent we're setting here. But you can do whatever you want. And you can take it from fund balance if you don't want to affect your rate.
Yeah. I guess I'd like to see a job description with something that has a salary tied to it. But we still need to probably, I don't know, what do you think?
Well, that is a tricky situation. I believe that's more than everybody in your department now makes. And that, yeah, does not have a home on the matrix, but that's.
If I can, Commissioners, I just would like to share that in my discussions with several different departments, the Tyler support has been a common thread. It's a painful thread at that. And last I understand, there was a person here providing that service and they left for brighter opportunities, if you will. I don't really have any intention to bring somebody in, train them up, get them all acclimated, and then just have them leave. So again, this is just a placeholder because I have not had the time to put together a formal proposal, including a job description. So that's kind of where we're at this point in stage.
Yeah, I would feel better in that ballpark.
Think about that. Change this to 60, and then, you know, you can always, if that doesn't work out, you can come to the court.
I think that's a fair compromise.
Yeah. All right, so change the.
What's that?
Change the office manager position to this new, the
senior IT analyst.
Yeah. Set it at 60, and then we'll go forward from there. So it's at 44 now. So that'd be
That's still not in your matrix, right?
It's not on the current matrix, but I think that we could, again, that gives us some room to get in there and define this thing and figure out where it needs to be, and then figure out where on the matrix or add it to the matrix that we would need to be.
Here's another idea. Why don't you leave it like it is and then put do a part-time line? We can do a part-time line, right?
You can do whatever you want to do. The previous Tyler person was making $54,000, just for your point of reference.
Yeah, well, we're changing the whole nomenclature in the IT department, so I'm not adhering to any of that from this seat. Whatever y'all want to do.
What was your idea on the part-time, rather than changing the current position?
Leave it at 44 and then add 30,000.
I'm just trying to fit a square peg in
apparently
a square hole.
I think that's a reasonable thing that you're doing there. I think that makes sense. We could do that.
And what if he does his analysis and comes up with hiring somebody at 60, then what? Do you combine those two?
He's got extra part-time for a while, you know.
Yeah, I think that it would still be in his budget. Is that what we're shooting for here? It would still be in his budget, and then you just make the adjustments within the budget to make that salary.
6 1 half dozen in the other. You
Yeah.
tell me what you want me to do. And
You can give it back to us,
Yeah.
you know.
So what I'm hearing is change office manager to senior IT analyst and make the salary 60,000.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, either way.
And you want me to take that from the roll in from prior year? That way we don't affect the rate. So remain 0.2797.
While you're there. So I mentioned that there was a position added called radio tech. And I think the court needs to discuss where that position belongs. When we brought the person in, there was a dispatch position open in dispatch, so that's where they went, but was a temporary thing. So the discussion is, does it stay there? Does it move to IT? What is the court's thoughts and your thoughts?
Sheriff, if you want to speak to this, I might take your.
The role that that position plays now and into the future, I think, is only going to get busier, and so I'd sure like him to stay on the sheriff's office side of things. He's not an IT guy, he's a very smart guy, but he knows the ins and outs of the radio system that Granbury has and that we're utilizing. So that's what he spends his days working on, is making sure those patrol cars are up and running and the other radios are up and running, and I sure don't want to lose him. He's a good guy. He's a great guy, but I think if you tell him to go down the hall to fix a printer or to wherever, I don't know if he knows that much about that, but I'd hate to lose somebody with his knowledge to share his time to do other things. He needs to focus on keeping this radio system running. We've had, Sean's put a lot of time in it, Tyler's put a lot of time in it, but this person needs to fill that gap and stop taking those guys away from their jobs. So I think it ought to stay where it is, or with the sheriff's office side of things.
I concur with that also.
Okay. Sorry. Commissioner Wilson?
Yes,
I didn't hear you.
I said I concur with that also, leaving that individual handling the radios in the sheriff's department umbrella.
Is he staying busy? I mean, is that a full-time situation?
Yeah, he comes in early at like 7 or 7:30, and then yesterday he was there, I think, till 5:30 or something like that. So I don't know what he was doing that late, but yeah, they were working on, the last couple of days they've been working on the patrol cars, and he stays busy. And it's only going to get busier with things. We've had problems out south ever since the Somerville County came on and hooked up their system. Then the pagers went crazy, and then we've got all of a sudden a dead zone down in the Biloxi area. And so we believe it's all on the Harris system, and however they've done things with the city of Granbury with the UAS, and I don't even know what UAS stands for, but that's what they talk about all the time. So he's been helping work through all those problems, and so we need to keep him there.
I don't know if my input means anything, but I concur with that, because he was instrumental in fixing our pager problem that we've had the last 4 weeks. And just today, as a result of last night's meeting, I gave him another project that's going to require him to reprogram all of the Harris radios, like every portable, every mobile, every radio, and he is the guy who knows how to do that.
Can he do that Kenwood?
He's actually
throw that whole separate little issue.
He's actually working on learning the Kenwood system. We got to get the software and whatever equipment it is to program those. But anything Harris, he's definitely your guy, and he's learning the Kenwood stuff and the pagers.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of radios out there to take care of, and I forgot about that from last night's meeting. Chiefs came together and said we need to try changing some channels around to be able to handle things a little more efficiently. So yeah, I forgot about that. So he's got a lot of extra stuff to do. And then the problems with the dead spots and the Kenwood radios, things like that. So he's got a lot of work ahead of it.
I would just like to make a comment in terms of, I think you have a job responsibility, and that his job responsibility is to take care of the radios. I don't see that changing regardless of what department the individual reports in. So the way I would look at that, even if it's just managing the resource, it would still be 100% dedicated to the sheriff's department. If there was free time, we could certainly offer some cross-training into some other areas, allow the individual to grow. But if there isn't any free time, then he would remain 100%. So I think what we're really talking about is it's just a reporting structure. So if you're going to report into IT, just to keep that kind of technology resources together makes some sense. If that's not what we want to do today, I'm perfectly fine leaving it as is as well. But I just want to point that out, that the job responsibility would not change.
Heard people talk about it. Radios are IT. I mean, it's just another device, right? I mean, I'm fine with leaving him where he is, but just so that there's the understanding that there's software on radios, there's programming of radios, so.
It's difficult to find the boundaries of IT these days because just about everything has a computer in it, some kind of processor. So I look at it as general technology. I've had experience in that space in the past, so I have some experience in it years back. But again, I think the most important thing is I think we need to focus on is that there would be no change or decline in support. So I look at it as we're just trying to keep technology people in the technology group. If that's not the desire, then we can certainly make what we have today work.
Well, it seems like that we have a lot of work coming up, so I think the current situation is, I don't know, I don't have any other need to change it if no one else does. Jack?
I think it makes
Jack already
sense where
said,
it
didn't he?
is at,
Okay.
yeah.
Leave the apple cart where it is for the moment.
It is with the sheriff's department right now.
Right. Just kind of a house cleaning thing that I think we're done. That we should do on the SB 22. We've done this in years past, is just, I'll make a motion to accept the recommendations from the sheriff, the county attorney, and the district attorney, with the understanding that the salary adjustments are contingent on continued grants from the state. We're still on the budget. I'm just making a motion.
For that.
To accept the SB 22 grant, or proposals from the CADA and Sheriff's Office.
I'll second that.
What the sheriff, the county attorney, and the district attorney has made regarding the SB 22 grants regarding the budget, second by Commissioner Andrews. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All say nay. Motion carries unanimous 5-0. Else? I'm gonna make a motion to approve the budget.
I'm good. Are you?
Okay. Put my glasses on so I can hear better. Yeah, I will make a motion that we approve the budget with the adjustments that we've made here, the IT update. I guess Travis is about the same. And that's it. Okay. As presented.
Second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Eagle.
We're going to take a record vote.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we're going to take a record vote on this. So let's start off with Commissioner Andrews.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And aye.
Record vote. Unanimous. Does that make your job a little easier now so that I can tweak everything? Okay, good. Thank you. All right.
Being requested for a break, Judge.
Already took one.
Okay, so we'll take a few minute break here now. At this time at 11:12, we'll take a break.
We may not get lunch. Hmm? Not yet. Not right now. I'm gonna do it after that water and coffee. Probably an hour.
No, we won't get to lunch then.
I don't know yet. I know.
Okay, it's 11:30 and we are back in Commissioners Court and we're into item number 6. Take appropriate action to hold a public hearing for the proposed tax rate of 0.3165 per $100 valuation. So I guess that ship has sailed. Do I hear a motion regarding a proposed tax rate?
That'd be numbers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Excuse me. You're right. Here we go. So now at 11:30, we're going to go into another public hearing. Okay. Anybody wish to speak? I don't hear anybody speaking, so at 11:31, we're convening back into Commissioners Court. Now, I guess we're on number 7. Consider whether to adopt the order to set the Hood County property tax rate at a rate of 0.3165 per $100 valuation for the tax year 2025 and take a record vote on the tax rate order per local government code 11.10 and tax code chapter 26. Okay.
Current budget, the tax rate is 0.2797, which is an increase of $38 per single, from the current tax rate, $38 per year based on a $300,000 home.
Tax rate of 0.2797.
I like it much better than 0.3165. So, yes, I'll make a motion to adopt the tax rate of 0.2979.
2797.
0.2797, sorry. What did I say? 297. Oh, sorry. 0.2797, thank you.
Samuelson to adopt a property tax rate of 0.2797, second by Commissioner Eagle. Any further discussion? Okay, at this time, we're going to take a record vote. So starting with Commissioner Andrews. Commissioner Samuelson.
Aye.
County Judge, aye. Commissioner Wilson.
Aye.
Okay. Commissioner Eagle.
Aye.
That? Okay. All right. Passed unanimously. So now we've gone to item number 8. Consider and take appropriate action to approve the 2026 salary matrix, setting salaries as of October the 1st, 2025. What sayest thou? Need a little work?
Yeah. Can we work on that a little bit? Let's,
Table it?
I move that we table this. Did you want to say something?
2026 salary matrix, second by
Second.
Commissioner Samuelson. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 9, consider and take appropriate action to authorize the county judge to sign an interlocal agreement for continued participation in the Regional Public Defender for Capital Cases Program. Man, we got to have this.
Yeah, I'll make that motion to authorize the county judge, to sign the interlocal agreement for continued participation in the Regional Public Defender for Capital Cases Program.
Second.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Eagle to authorize the county judge to sign an interlocal agreement for the continued participation in the Regional Public Defender for the Capital Cases Program, second by Commissioner Wilson. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries unanimously 5-0. Item number 10, consider and take appropriate action to authorize the county judge to sign an interlocal cooperation contract between the Hood County Sheriff's Office and Pecan Valley Mental Health MR region to provide payment for transportation services for individuals experiencing a mental health crisis event. Sheriff Deeds.
Judge, Commissioners, this has been going on for quite a few years with Pecan Valley. So what it is $20,000 pot of money that we get to pay mileage from. So when they take a person up to Wichita Falls, we get mileage for that. Wherever they go when they're hauling a mental person for transport to whatever hospital they need to go to, we can send the bill to them as far as the mileage. And so it's been working out well, and so I'd ask that you sign it and we keep moving forward.
It's $20,000?
$20,000.
Of which account?
It's,
I think that's actually a public service in our budget on page 23.
Okay, all right. So I'll make the motion to authorize the county judge to sign the interlocal corporation contract between Hood County Sheriff's Office and Pecan Valley MHMR region to provide payment for transportation services for individuals experiencing a mental health crisis event in the amount of $20,000 to be taken out of the appropriate account.
Second.
Authorize the county judge to sign an interlocal cooperation contract between the Sheriff's Office of Pecan Valley for transportation services for individuals experiencing a mental health crisis event to be taken out of the appropriate item, I think is under public services.
I think this is opposite. This is MHMR funding you, right?
correct, it is.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I was confused. This is income, not,
Yeah.
Okay,
okay.
all right, income from
Yeah, I guess-
mental health.
County's paying for the gas to start with and the person's time, but we send the bill to them as far as we have this many
Reimbursement.
miles.
Reimbursement.
For reimbursement out of that 20,000.
Okay,
Okay.
everybody's still the same. You still second it, Commissioner Wilson?
Yes, I am.
Get that change. Okay, good deal. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
11, thank you, Sheriff. 11 was pulled, 13 we've already handled, so 13. Discuss and approve the city of Granbury to have a third party make alterations to the historic courthouse to allow for holiday lighting to be strung from each corner of the square contingent on the historical commission approval. Yes, sir. Leland.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. City of Granbury has been working on a plan to alter the very top of the roof of the courthouse so they can hang the holiday lights from each corner of the square as they have done in previous years. You can see they've had an engineer do the drawing. So they've engineered the plans. They're putting it out for quote right now. We did have a question about liability from Commissioner Samuelson and Melissa. I'm still waiting on their liability numbers. The deputy city manager did tell me, though, that whoever's requirement is higher is the requirement they're going to go by. So if the city requires higher liability,
The city's paid for all of it?
yeah,
all the expenses?
they've done all the legwork, so.
Yeah. It looks pretty. It's pretty. It does look pretty.
It does. I like it.
Maybe it's kind of dangerous initially. I guess they're going to have somebody in a bucket that's going to be able to do it. I don't know.
That's why I was concerned about liability,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just as long as they've got the cover, the higher of whichever coverage the county requires or the city requires. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Subject to having all the insurance, proper insurance then. So do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the city of Granbury to have a third party make alterations to the historic courthouse to allow for his holiday lighting to be strung from each corner of the square contingent on historical commission approval.
Second.
And subject to.
All right, a motion been made by Commissioner Andrews to allow the city of Granbury to have a third party make alterations to the historic courthouse for the holiday line to be strung from each corner of the square contingent upon historical commission approval and upon proper liability insurance approval. Second by Commissioner Wilson. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously 5-0. Thank you, Leland.
Thank you.
All right, number 14, consider and take appropriate action for the county judge to sign the debt book contract management order form. Mr. Glenn Tillman.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. So the auditor and I are requesting a signature to change our contract management software from Bonfire to Debt Book. It's an additional module to the Debt Book software that she's already using, but it'll add functionality, including financial features to better support her without affecting the contract management process that we do. And in getting this new module, we'll receive the $2,500 implementation for free. We'll get 2 months of service for free, and it'll save the county about $2,000 a year switching software packages.
Has our IT director looked at it?
We discussed it. We've been working on this for quite a while, so I've discussed it with the previous ones.
Okay.
But we have been through the process, but it's been over a period of time.
And this has the required cybersecurity clauses and Title VI.
So it's not a new contract. It is using the contract that y'all approved back in April for her debt book. The initial debt book, which had all of the, excuse me? Yeah, it had everything when we originally did it in April. So this is just adding, basically adding one more item onto that contract that's already approved.
Okay, so it has the cybersecurity clauses in the original contract?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah, they have the cybersecurity and
okay.
The other language.
I'll move that we approve the county judge to sign the debt book contract management order form.
County judge to sign the debt book contract management order form, second by Commissioner Andrews. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Thank you.
All right. Item number 15, discuss resolution to issues regarding the flock camera contract and credit for delayed installation. Review contract language and take any action if necessary. Commissioner Andrews. Okay. We do have one speaker on this. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm sorry. All right. Okay. Not sure if that's already been done.
Oh, okay.
There's no speaker for this. Okay, all right. Go ahead.
Oh, no, this is a continuation of trying to get a resolution to the problem that we have because there was a order form that was signed but not signed by the judge, and then payment was made, and then there was a delay in getting the cameras installed. And Sheriff told me the other day that they met with Flock and that they're processing the permits now. They're not waiting on TxDOT any longer. Maybe you should speak to that.
Well, TxDOT and DPS had something going on there that they were discussing something, so that stalled the process out for quite a while. Well, but that's been 3 weeks ago now. I think it all came to a resolution, so they're moving forward. So now things are just backed up with TxDOT getting them the sites approved, and once they're approved, the last time I talked to those guys at Flock last week, then they were ready to jump on it and go forward because the thing has been through the process waiting for them to make the approval through TxDOT, and then they'll be up there.
Yeah,
So we don't have a date yet.
They have 1,000 DPS cameras.
Yeah, there's about 1,000 of them that DPS wants them installed. They know that we're waiting to get these done, so and they said they would jump on it as soon as TxDOT approves the site plan.
Is the funding on that grant still, I mean, I think that everybody had anticipated this beginning last year. So is that, we crossed over September 1st, which is new fiscal year for the state. Is that funding still in place for this year, the same as it would have been if these had been installed last year?
Yeah, we have monthly meetings. I think it's like the first Tuesday of every month with the grant people. And the first part of it is strictly just the grant information and the people that are dealing with that. And Patrick is on that call. It's a over the computer deal. And that's at 9:30, and then 10:15 is when the law enforcement people get on there and discuss, what's going on in the state of Texas. So we're meeting with them monthly, if not more. I know I got an email from them earlier this morning too, but about the grant stuff. So I didn't read that to see what it is, but so they're involved in all this process. They know what's going on.
Okay.
So
we really have two different issues. One is that we don't have a properly approved contract, and the other is that the delay of installing the camera. When I talked to Blaine on the phone initially, he said they would do a credit per day from June 15th, which was when the first camera was installed. So just for example, if a camera was 30 days delayed, then it would be 30 days times $8.22, which is $3,000 divided by 365, and do that for each camera. But then I don't know if y'all saw the email correspondence between Blaine, who's our Tyler rep, our flock rep, it's been a long day, our flock account manager, trying to figure out how to do a credit, because we paid up front, which is probably an issue we want to talk about in future contracts, paying up front when services or stuff hasn't been provided, but also how to credit us. And so our county attorney's been, now after trying to work this out, I turned it over to our county attorneys to try to work with their attorney. So Alan, do you have any updates?
I don't have any real substantive updates. We're still talking to Blaine. He thinks we have a solid contract in place based on the order that was signed, but the judge hasn't signed the actual contract yet. So you need to approve the, I don't even know if the commissioners have approved the concept yet.
No, on the refund?
Yes.
I mean, they've all got it, but I don't think that they've had a chance to look at it and, get an update from you on what our issues are. I mean, we also have, you were looking at the cybersecurity language and the Title VI.
Right.
So we're not at a point to authorize the judge to sign the contract because we need the credit language included. So I guess we just keep going. I don't think there's anything for you to do today.
Thank you. I've got plenty to do.
Okay, so we're just we just need to resolve it. I hope that, Flock will, I'm just not really impressed with their ability to help us correct this issue. And so I hope they will come around to, a fair resolution.
Okay, well, that brings us to the easiest one we have today. Item number 60, discuss and take appropriate action to accept proceeds from the sale of the YMC building in the amount of $5,400,000. Anybody dispute that? Anybody didn't want to accept that? Do I hear a motion?
have something to do with them, right?
Need to know what account to put it in.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, the treasurer said her account.
Oh, that's, yeah.
The personal account, the one that you have in Switzerland and Zurich, yeah.
No, it's in the Caymans. It's in the Caymans.
Well, and this is what we discussed earlier, is to put this into 55 and allow that as a carryover. So with that, I make the motion to accept the proceeds from the sale of the YMCA building in the amount of $5,400,000 into Fund 55.
Second.
All right, a motion has been made by Commissioner Andrews to accept the proceeds from the sale of the YMC building in the amount of $5,400,000 to be deposited into Fund 55. Second by Commissioner Wilson. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimously 5-0. Okay, item 17 was pulled, so this brings us to item number 18, which is discuss financial implications and debt service issues related to the proposed bonds to be placed on the ballot in upcoming November election as Proposition A and Proposition B. And we have Mr. Greg Harrell to speak to that. So, Mr. Harrell.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. I can still say good morning. Barely. Long meeting. Before I get started on what I wanted to speak to this morning, I just want to acknowledge Ms. Matlock and Hood County and congratulate you and the county on receiving the award for financial transparency. That makes what I'm about to speak to that much easier. So I did a AI search yesterday on the Republican Party of Texas 2024 platform position regarding bond measures, because there's been a lot of confusion within this community about what the party states on bonds. And here's what I got back when I made that direct inquiry. The general stance on bond measures: the Republican Party of Texas does not explicitly prohibit bond measures in its platform. However, it emphasizes fiscal responsibility and transparency in government spending. Key points related to bond measures: fiscal responsibility. The platform advocates for limiting government spending and ensuring that taxpayer money is used efficiently. Transparency. There is a call for clear communication regarding how public funds, including those from bond measures, are managed and allocated. Conclusion. While the platform does not outright ban bond measures, it promotes a cautious approach to their use, focusing on accountability and responsible financial management. That's the end of the quote from artificial intelligence. Really what this citation relates to is Platform Planks 218 of the party platform for 2024. 218 talks about how does the taxing entity, that is in this case you, in regards to the jail bond and the master thoroughfare plan bond, how do you place that on the ballot? What are the hurdles? What are the thresholds that you have to achieve? And then Platform Plank 67, which also speaks to those requirements in regards to transparency and accountability before you ever consider a bond. And I stand before you this morning thanking you for the process that you all have walked through in regards to getting to where you are, considering the bond measures that you will put before the voters on November 4th. And with that, I yield my time. Thank you.
And Judge, I'm glad that Mr. Harrell has come up to clarify some things, because there has been some confusion. And by the way, parenthetically, Mr. Harrell has been recently nominated and accepted to be our SREC rep for the Republican Party for our senatorial district. So congratulations, Mr. Harrell, on that. Condolences. So just to tag on to what Mr. Harrell said, the Republican platform of Texas does not ban or oppose all bonds. For instance, and for responsible financial management, for instance, if I want to live in a house, most people have to go get a mortgage, and a mortgage is debt. Most people, and most of those people are financially responsible people. If I want to have a car to drive, if I'm like most people, I have to go buy a car and put it on a note. I can't afford to pay cash for a car. That's just me. So I have to go get a note for that car, and that's debt. A bond is debt. A bond is a means for a government to take care of certain issues that's too costly to pay cash for. And one of the things is about accountability. I heard that stated in this, in Mr. Harrell's description there. We have been struggling with jail overcrowding in this county for years. We have been talking about the jail situation for years. This was a topic of discussion when I took office and the judge took office in January of 2019. The jail issue was a topic of discussion. We have presented, over the years, we have presented numerous scenarios. We have asked for public input. We have laid all the cards on the table as much as we can. Actually had a bond issue last year that failed. Because at the end of the day, if the court decides to vote to present a bond issue to the taxpayers, we are still leaving that up to you. We're leaving it up to the taxpayers. We've done all we can do to get us there. But sometimes debt has to be acquired to take care of certain situations. Now, I know the sheriff doesn't like this at all, but if the jail expansion fails, I mean, they can put them up in tents. It's in the code, but it's going to be up to the voters for that. The same goes with the roads. We have been working on a master thoroughfare plan in this county for years because of, we have a lake in the middle of the county. And so it creates, we've got traffic situation and congestion that gets worse every year. There's not hardly a day that goes by that I do not hear from someone, either in my precinct or anybody else's, this traffic is ridiculous here. Well, we've had numerous public offerings for you. It's on our website and everything else about what we're trying to do with the roads. But we can't afford to do the roads with cash. We just can't do it. So we're talking about some major infrastructure here with the bond issue. And once again, that's still going to be up to y'all. All we have done is vote to put these two issues, jail, which you've heard about ad nauseum for years, and roads, same. Two specific purpose bonds for specific reasons that are spelled out. There's no hide the ball in them. You can go look at everything within them. And as far as I can tell, we have completely abided on top of the needs involved on the platform. 218 says, and I've got a sheet that was attached to this agenda item, platform plank 218. State and local bond elections ballots shall be required to include the amount of debt currently outstanding. That's out there. It's out there. Current debt service payments. It's out there. It's online. Current per capita debt, well, we figured there's roughly 70,534 people, so that's just a simple math equation right there. We figured that. Current debt service payments and current per capita debt obligations. The amount of new debt proposed. You got Proposition A, Proposition B there. Now, these numbers may stand to be corrected because our numbers have been changing here for the last few weeks, but I drew these numbers from our website and documents that we presented to the public, other than the population, and that's from the census. The population's from the census. Estimated debt service for the new debt and estimated per capita burden per being proposed. Now, there's also a caveat within this blank that it should be a 20% voter turnout. Well, we don't know what that's going to be because we're not there yet. But in Hood County, historically, I can tell you the chances are pretty high that we're going to have a 20% voter turnout. The other caveat is a 2/3 affirmative vote. We don't know that either. And the legislature has not changed that into law. So the bottom line is that we've tried to stay within the parameters of this platform, but we've reached a point where we have no other choice but to present it to you guys and let you decide. And I'm not taking a position one way or the other, either one of them at this point. All I'm saying is why we did what we did. And the last part of this platform, we oppose bundling of items on a bond ballot. In other words, throwing these two issues in one bond, for instance. We're separating them, we're itemizing them. So, and the last part, this is a tax increase. That's going to be on the ballot in bold. Well, I don't know bold, but all caps. So, as far as I can tell, we have, because I don't like debt any more than anybody else. You know, I don't want to be in debt, especially at my age. Who does? But sometimes when you need certain improvements, there's nowhere else to go. And thankfully, the county has, the government entities do have vehicles which they can draw on. But at the end of the day, y'all are going to tell us what to do on November the 4th. So thank you. That's what I've got.
You did a good job. I like the language that you drafted. It'll be on the ballot that way, so it looks good. Or whoever did, I guess the bonus staff did, or McCall Parkers did. Whoever it did, it looks good. So anyway, all right. Last item, discuss and consider changes to the Hood County brush yard fees.
I had somebody bring this to my attention that they came in there with a little 8 or 10 foot long dump trailer and they were charged $50 instead of the $10, which is normally what a shorter trailer like that would be. So what we did was we broke it down to where a trailer is a trailer, whether it dumps itself or not. And then we clarified some dump truck language on there, so.
Okay, yes, sir, go ahead.
It would just be that a trailer's trailer, whether it's a flatbed or a dump trailer. It's just the cost is determined on the length of the trailer.
So,
and then as far as dump trucks, they're stated as 10 yards or less would be one price, and then greater than 10 yards would be $10 more.
That's easy to do.
It just makes it a lot simpler.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yeah, I just had somebody with a little short trailer coming in there having to pay $50 because it dumped itself instead of, pulling it off a flatbed. So that's quick enough. We can make that happen. So with that, I'll make a motion to approve or amend the Hood County brush yard fees as presented.
Second.
Second.
Charged by the length of the trailer. Second by Commissioner Eagle. Any further discussion? All those agreements say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously 5-0. This brings us to the consent agenda. Does any commissioner wish to pull or question any item on the consent agenda?
F1 under purchasing, our IT director's asked us to give him some time to look into that one. So it's the AVI SPL contract, so. Mhm. Make a motion to accept the items in the consent agenda minus the F1 AVI contract.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Okay. Okay, road ops development. Mr. Clint Head, set a public hearing for the replat of the Landings East. Give me a date.
October 14th, 2025.
October the 14th, 2025. Okay, I hear a motion.
What was the date?
October 14th.
October 14th. Move that we set a public hearing for the replat of the Landings East Lot 3978R to October 14th, 2025.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Andrews. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries unanimously 5-0. Item 2, discuss and consider the final plat of Comanche Ranch Estates, Lot 1, Block 1.
Yep, this is the final plat of Comanche Ranch Estates, Lot 1, Block 1. Is the platting of a 7.2 acres tract that is part of the Wright Williams Survey Abstract number 574. It would be Lot 1 will be a 7.2 acre lot. The property is located in the Road Corridor District in Precinct 2 and will be served by private well and on-site sewage facilities. There are no streets proposed to be constructed with this final plat. The lot will access Glen Rose Highway through an access easement. All comments have been addressed. Staff does recommend conditional approval of the final plat contingent upon the ingress and egress recording and the recording of a 3.174 acres tract to the east, combining it into a deed with a 10 acres tract, so it's all under one tract at 10.3 or 13.174 acres.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve the final plat of Comanche Ranch Estates, Lot 1, Block 1, contingent, it's a conditional approval that is contingent upon the recording of the ingress egress easements and the combination of the 3.174 acres tract to the east in a deed with the existing 10 acre tract.
Second.
Final plat of Comanche Ranch Estates, Lot 1, Block 1, subject to contingent approval of an egress easement, and what's the other part?
Ingress egress easement and the combination of the 3.17 acres tract to the east in a deed with the existing 10 acre tract.
Further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Head. Financial, Ms. Stephanie Matlock.
Good afternoon. We have invoices for August 20th through August 28th in the amount of $1,425,015.47. The auditor's office has reviewed all invoices and recommends payment.
Just got one question on the over 10,000. You've got that AVI SP. We can go ahead and vote for that, but you can hold it, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Or
Or
you
you
might
can
find
pull it.
another option, I think.
We can void it. You can pull that one.
Okay. Pull the $22,000.
22,042.72 is what's, I'm looking at it.
That's it.
Correct, void.
You're gonna.
Hey, I hear a motion.
You're gonna.
Did you do the math?
I was just going to say minus, but do you have?
Oh, well, I think I got it.
Okay,
figured
go
out.
ahead.
All right, I make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $1,402,972.75.
Second.
$1,402,972.75.
Aye?
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Good. Good and done. Thank you very much. And at 12:10, we are adjourned. Good job. At least we got, huh?
Do the sign.